Welcome to Money Patterns Decoded. Money is never just about money, it is a pattern. Today we expose one of those hidden patterns, see exactly how it controls your finances, and discover the precise shift that can set you free. Let's begin. Here's a sharp observation. Every time you win, a quiet hand takes a cut. Not a bank charge, not a visible fee, an inner levy. You deliver the sale, you get the praise, you make the investment, and somewhere between the win and your wallet, a small fraction is earmarked as not allowed, guilt, humility, I don't deserve this. The result is predictable. Your compound growth never gets to breathe, it slows, and over years that tiny bleed becomes the difference between wealth that compounds and wealth that drifts away. I call this the self-tax pattern. The unconscious psychic tax you place on every win. Today I'll name the rule, reveal how it runs on two engines, psychological and esoteric, and give you one exact evening practice you can use tonight. The zero tax tally. It's 60 seconds. It reclaims the day's full value and begins to reprogram the levy. Try it tonight. Section 1. The psychological mechanism. Most people feel the cut, but can't name it. It shows up as a reflex. When pricing offers, you dial down the number as if you owe the world restraint. When you receive money, you minimize the story, you joke it away, you rush to earn it again. When you save or invest, you underfund the account because part of you believes abundance is a threat to belonging. These are not failures of math, they are internal rules. Shame whispers, you don't deserve to keep the whole thing. Fear adds, standing out brings danger. Both create a mental ledger that deducts before your real accounts even grow. People call it self-sabotage. I call it a built-in tax code, one that usually benefits a subconscious need to stay safe in social or familial systems. Concrete examples. You land a client, an underprice because you fear being seen as greedy. You celebrate a raise with coffee, instead of changing the monthly allocation. You donate excessively, or spend impulsively to quiet guilt. Always the psyche skims value. Each skim interrupts compounding. The math of repeated small leaks is merciless. A 10% emotional cut repeated monthly will devastate a decade of growth. That's the psychological engine. Hidden rules, old loyalties, and the habit of trimming wins to stay fit in the family of origin or the inner committee that worries. Section 2. The esoteric mechanism. If the psychological engine is the habit, the esoteric engine is the template, the inner geometry that fragments worth. In many traditions, value is not continuous, it's partitioned. Imagine an inner blueprint that says, your worth is divisible into safe parts and dangerous parts. The safe part you may touch, the dangerous part must be hidden or given away. That template acts like sacred geometry. It prescribes where energy can flow and where it can't. Numerologically, you'll see recurring divisors, thirds, ninths, halves, patterns that keep a portion of your wins invisible or forbidden. The psyche enforces these divisions with rituals, appeasement, distraction, over-justification. And because the template is geometric, argument alone rarely shifts it. Logic says keep it all, but the inner map redraws the boundaries. That's why shadow work matters alongside financial discipline. You must see the blueprint to change the blueprint, not just change behavior for a week, but alter how your internal geometry allocates worth. Once you name the pattern, you can reorient the angles so more of what you earn is allowed to remain whole and compound. Reframe with a metaphor. Picture a cistern built to hold rain. Now imagine a hairline leak, nearly invisible, at one joint. After each storm, the cistern loses a fraction of its water, Over months the reserve shrinks. That hairline leak is the self-tax. Contrast that with a toll gate, a deliberate, visible payment you choose to make. The cistern leak is stealthy and sorrowful. The toll gate is explicit and useful. If you see your inner levy as geometry, a hairline gap at a joint, you shift from shame to engineering. You stop moralizing the leak and begin sealing seams. Section 3. The 1-minute daily shift. The zero-tax tally. This is a simple, precise evening practice to reclaim the day's full value and to retrain the internal ledger. Do it tonight, every evening for at least 2 weeks. Step 1. Sit with your ledger. 5 to 10 deep, steady breaths to settle. Step 2. Name the day's wins aloud, even small ones, and state the full amount you assign to each, in plain terms. Step 3. Say zero-tax tally, full value aloud, and visualize each win pouring into a sealed cistern with no leaks. Step 4. Take one tiny action to honor one win. Move $20 to savings, celebrate with a short note to yourself, or schedule a follow-up that compounds the win. That's 60 seconds. The ritual rewires permission. You begin to practice receiving full deposits without immediate deductions. A quick caution. This practice is inner work, not financial advice. For complex investment decisions, taxes, or healing from deep trauma, consult a financial advisor or a licensed therapist. Use the zero-tax tally as a behavioral and energetic complement to professional guidance. Recap. The self-tax pattern is the unconscious levy that trims your wins. It runs on 2 engines: psychological rules of shame and fear, and an esoteric inner geometry that divides worth. The zero-tax tally is your first tool. 60 seconds each evening to reclaim full value, seal the hairline leak, and let compound momentum do its work. Try it tonight and notice the difference in a week. If you're ready to go deeper, my complete library at Desmarques.com unpacks the structural work, sacred geometry techniques, numerological patterns, and step-by-step practices for clearing the larger templates that govern money. One shift changes your financial destiny. Money is a pattern. Awareness is the key. That is the money pattern. That is the mechanism. And that is your shift today. If you're ready to decode the full architecture of your financial life, explore my complete library at Desmarques.com.